I just thought, switching 1 through 5, I didn't think we made the right plays at the right time at times, and then we just didn't make shots.
On the left side.
Ty, Hayden Grove, Scott.com. Can you take us through the decision to bring Kevin off the bench, and do you think that was one that you, at the end of the day, felt was the right one?
Yeah, I felt it was the right way. We had just won a game by 30 points. We played well, so I just decided to stick with RJ. Kevin came to me after the game and just said whatever I felt was right. Coming off the bench or starting, he was all in. So after winning the game by 30 points, I thought it was the right thing to do.
Tim over here on the right.
Tim Reynolds, Associated Press. Ty, everyone knows what the numbers mean when you're down 3-1 in a series like that, and you have to go there twice, theoretically, all that. What do you possibly say to your guys after a game like that, knowing that the odds are now stacked as high as they can be against you?
If you don't think we can win, don't get on the plane. And I just think, we got to come back anyway, so we might have come back and play. So we got to come back to Cleveland, don't we?
All the way in the back in the center.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. LeBron looked kind of out of sync. I don't know, was it their defense? Was he having a hard time getting in the flow? And 7 turnovers again. Just wonder what you thought.
I have to look at the film, but you have to ask LeBron. I'm not sure. I got to look at it.
Over here on the right side.
Coach Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. Early in the fourth quarter, you have a real rough patch. It was the Warriors going on a 12-1 run. What were you seeing from your team during that stretch? They missed 6 straight shots, a couple turnovers. And as a follow-up to that, the fatigue, how much did that play a factor in the fourth quarter? You had major minutes for LeBron and for Kyrie and for JR.
It could have played a part in it, but going into the fourth quarter, being down 2-1, we're down 2 points. They brought their bench in, so I thought if we can keep our starters in for a few minutes, we can kind of make a run and then get guys out slowly. But they were able to go on the run, so it hurt us. But I went with my best players, in the fourth quarter, down 2-1, and it didn't work.
Ramona on the left.
Hi, Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. LeBron played 45 minutes. Have you guys discussed how many minutes he's playing and how many he thinks he can play effectively?
No.
Do you think it's something that you need to discuss with him? Is he able to play that many minutes and still be effective at the end of the game?
Well, when it's time to win and you're the NBA Finals, you got to play as many minutes as you need to. So if you got to play 96 minutes, you got to play 96 minutes. We're trying to win. We're in the Finals. And he could have got tired and it could have been fatigued, but, in the NBA Finals, you got to lay it all on the line. And in 9 days, you can rest all summer.
Dave in the front.
David Benjamin, ESPN Toronto. You spoke about how you were pleased at Game 3 with the way your team brought fight and brought physicality. How do you feel like that was a factor on both sides in tonight's game? Did you feel like it might have gotten out of hand at any point?
I thought we competed. I thought we played hard. Some defensive breakdowns, giving Steph and Klay some open shots. And this is the first series where the first game where they really gotten going tonight, and it was hard to stop them. But, I thought we played hard. I thought we competed. I just thought we made some defensive mistakes that cost us. And every time we made a mistake, they made us pay.
Joe towards the center.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Ty, I know sometimes after games you see clips right away. Did you see this clip where Draymond apparently punched LeBron in the groin?
I swear I didn't see it, no.
Okay.
Did he do it?
I mean, I'm looking at my phone. I think everybody can look for themselves, but it's one to watch. But in general, we've talked, we've talked all year, or at least all playoffs, about how LeBron is officiated. He had a couple more tonight where he got to the rim and thought he got fouled. Just, I guess, without watching the film, what did you see there?
He never gets calls. He attacks. He's one of the most. Outside of Russell Westbrook, he's one of the guys who attacks the paint every single play, and he doesn't, get a fair whistle all the time because of his strength and because of his power, and guys bounce off of him. But, those are still fouls, and, we wasn't able to get them, but we got to play through the officiating.
Third row.
Moke Hamilton, BasketballInsiders.com. Coach, the game seemed to kind of turn the latter half of the third quarter, heading into the fourth quarter. Tristan Thompson was on the bench for that stretch. With all the energy and everything that he gave you guys, I'm just curious to know what was behind the decision to go away from him during that stretch.
I'm not sure.
Would you make that same decision again?
I got to watch the film. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the flow of the game, what happened. I'll watch it, and I'll let you know.
Any other questions for Coach? Last one here on the right.
To run Kenny Rhoda, WHBC Radio. Second half, you're outscored 58-42. You're up 5 at halftime. Was it more your offense or your defense in the second half?
I thought it was a combination of both, letting Steph and Clay get out in transition, getting some early threes, some missed coverages. And I just thought offensively, even in the first half, I thought we got stops, but we didn't really push it. All 5 guys didn't run to attack like we did in Game 3. But I thought it was a combination of both.
Thank you, Coach.
Tyronn Lue being asked what went into his decision to make Kevin Love available off the bench in Game 4 tonight, rather than have him in the starting lineup, which he was almost the entirety of the regular season and the playoffs. Tyronn Lue saying, you know what, we played well in Game 3, won by 30 points, didn't see a reason why I needed to go and change that. Well, he went with what he had done just a couple of times throughout the season with Kevin Love, either not available or coming off the bench, rather than sticking with Kevin Love, who's been a starter all season long. Do you agree with the move? Do you not agree with the move? Kevin Love ends up with 11 points in 25 minutes off the bench for Cleveland. Do you think it was the right call? Give us your comments, your questions, your concerns after Game 4's 108-97 loss for the Cleveland Cavaliers at the hands of the Golden State Warriors. We welcome you back to Sideline Live here on Matt D'Agostino. 61% say yes, you agree with Kevin Love coming off the bench. 39% saying no, he should have been in the starting lineup like he has been for almost the entire part of this season. Getting back to some things in the social media world, we're looking at one, and I don't know where this contest started or how it evolved, but you may want to set your calendars to June 21st. From 2 to 6 p.m. at Taco Bell, you can get your free Doritos Locos Taco for the Warriors stealing a game on the road in the NBA Finals. Seems like a good way to do things there. And there were some special visitors at the Q in this one. That is Andrew Bynum, who last played in the NBA in 2014, played with Cleveland for a portion of that season before finishing up with 2 games for the Indiana Pacers. But yeah, he's in attendance right there, maybe not in playing shape, and the hair certainly looks a little different than I remember, but he is in attendance and taking it in. He's got a jersey there on the shoulder. I don't know why he's not wearing it, supporting the hometown team, but Andrew Bynum, we haven't seen him in a couple of years showing his face around an NBA arena in the NBA Finals. Matt D'Agostino here. We're with you live during coverage of the post-game press conference following Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Just the 4th time in NBA Finals history that the first 4 games of the Finals have all been decided by 10 or more points. This one much closer than the first 3 games that were decided by a total of 78 points. This one, an 11-point win in favor of the road team, the Golden State Warriors, who are now up 3-1 in the best of 7 series. People making more light of the situation, and I don't know if we can call up the video again here, guys, of Draymond Green being stepped over by LeBron James. But one of the reporters in the postgame press conference asking Tyronn Lue, did you see Draymond Green, who it looks like decides to take a punch to the midsection, let's call it, of LeBron James, something that I'm sure will be reviewed by the league. Draymond Green, he was a couple of technicals, a flagrant foul away from being suspended for a game. That may be coming. It may not be coming. Just double fouls given during the course of the game, and it was reviewed, and LeBron and Draymond jumped it up at center court. That's all that happened during the game in terms of that. We'll see if anything comes in the coming days as we await word on that. LeBron James getting in it with Draymond Green, then Steph Curry. It's been a busy night of frustration for LeBron. I'm anxious to see what he has to say going to the podium tonight as his team now sits 3-1 in a hole, now having to win 3 straight to take home the title. We're waiting for players to get up there to the podium, and it'll be interesting. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson get back on track tonight with 63 points. LeBron James, again, the numbers good, the results bad. Steph Curry, 38 points, a game high for the Warrior and the MVP. He's at the podium right now.
Especially in the first quarter, controlling the pace of the game and, not losing it like we did in Game 3. And, over 48 minutes, we executed a lot better. And I think we got back to enjoying the process and the challenge of winning playoff games, especially in the finals.
And secondly, did you see all the talk about your Curry 2 release, and did any part of you want to wear them tonight?
Yeah, if I had them in the road bag, I would definitely would have worn them and showed them how fire they are. I love the nicknames, though, that they came up with, but I like them.
Stephen, Lowell Cohn, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. After Game 3, Coach Kerr called the team soft many times, and I assume that includes you. How did you go? He did. He used the term a lot. We were soft. How did you go from being soft to not soft in one game? And the second question I have is, are you sore at LeBron James?
Am I what?
Sore, angry at LeBron James.
Why would I be angry
Well,
at him?
we saw you having words with him.
Oh, that's just normal basketball talk. I wanted to foul. He didn't think he fouled, and we just jabbering. There's nothing to that at all. And we, as a team, had to understand that, yeah, we were a little lackadaisical, didn't really show up, and myself included in that. And today is a new day, a new opportunity to, a fresh start to come out and get back to who we are as a team on both ends of the floor and play with aggression and assertiveness and confidence. And like I said, we did that in the first quarter, took their first punch and handled it well, and then, came right back at them. So did what we were supposed to do.
Okay, go ahead.
Steph, up front, Phil Barber, Press Democrat. Early in the game, before your outside shot started falling, you started penetrating and it seemed like you had some success, and Clay did a bit of that too. What did that do for your rhythm, and do you think that helped open things up for you later?
Just took what the defense gave us in that situation, not pressing or, trying to force something that's not there. And the way that they were defending and have been for most of the series, they're trying to take away, our perimeter shot. And we found it a little bit tonight, but like you said, early in the game, there were driving lanes, and instead of settling, just tried to, attack and be on the downhill as opposed to allowing them to get into us.
Tim Beal at Cleveland.com. This one's for Clay. When you saw Steph make that first step-back three, obviously you guys have been feeding off each other so well this season. In particular tonight, how much did that three really get your energy going, and in particular really set it up where you guys were feeding off each other so well from three-point range?
I'm not really sure what three you're talking about. There was a lot of them, but
the first one in particular.
First one, yeah. I mean, I've seen him do it for 5 years now. No one in the game could really. That's a bad shot for everyone else in this league, but obviously when you have Steph's range and handle, we'll take that shot every day. And I mean, he's our MVP, makes us go. So we follow, and he was sure with the ball tonight and just made the right decisions and let the game come to him. And he played an amazing game. I'm proud of the way he competed, and everyone else fed off that. And got to give a lot of credit to Andrew Severino and James McAdoo. Those guys haven't been getting in a good rhythm lately because they haven't been getting great minutes, but they came out and played with great poise, and they played the hardest, and that's what we need out of everybody.
Tim on the right side.
Tim Reynolds with the Associated Press. Steph, last year when you guys got the third win, I think it was just one off day between Game 5 and Game 6. I think there was just the one off day. How long did those 48 hours seem when you're that close to winning your first title, and how long do you think these next 2.5, 3 days will seem with you guys on the cusp of doing it again?
I honestly don't remember much about last year. It was a huge, win in Game 5 at home, and then you're going on the road. You have to kind of understand getting your travel mindset ready. But we need some rest and need to take advantage of being at home and getting back into our routine and be ready to go on Monday. It's going to be our biggest game of the year, obviously. So we always talk about it, just because we're going home doesn't mean you can relax or take things for granted. You work all regular season to have home court advantage, and this is a great opportunity for us, and we need to play with a sense of urgency and a sense of aggression like we did tonight. So it'll be fun 48 hours to wrap our minds around the opportunity we have in front of us.
Noah here, right?
Noah Kozlov, One Up Sports. Clay, how would you describe the intensity out there tonight as compared to the previous few games and just getting yourself right for that type of game?
Obviously a pivotal game, and you know, you got to respect they didn't want to go down 3-1, and we didn't want to have to come back to Cleveland. So I mean, it's going to get chippy. You know, there's going to be elbows, there's going to be bad fouls. It's the finals. You know, guys are going to lay everything on the line for this moment, and you know, you don't take it personal. Obviously, it's, you know, we know what's at stake, but it's probably going to be even more intense on Monday. So we're prepared for it, and it's going to be a fun night.
Last three here, and then Moak, and then on the other side.
Joseph Cacharo, the scorer. Steph, you almost doubled your field goal attempts tonight from Game 3. Was that just you, your own aggressive mindset, or was that something you guys did team-wise to get you some cleaner looks at the bucket?
A little bit of both, but more so when I had the ball in my hands, I had to be assertive and decisive with what I was doing. I was in between in Game 3. Obviously didn't have to deal with foul trouble, so I was on the floor a lot more. And my teammates set great screens. We got the ball moving from side to side, so I got some better looks off the ball as well. And when you have, obviously, Clay knocking down threes on the wing, HB, the way he stepped up and made some timely, you know, buckets for us, it kind of softens the defense because they got to be aware of everybody. And then lanes open up, and that's when we're at our best. So just kind of feeding off of that rhythm.
Last two over here, and then Moak.
Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. Early in the fourth quarter, you guys are down 2 points. You rip off a 12-1 run. You know, Clay, you're grabbing rebounds. Steph, you're moving the ball. Harrison Barnes bookends it with a couple of big threes. What are you sort of feeling in that situation? Do you smell blood? You feel an opportunity to go in for the kill? And what changed there that really let you rip that run off?
Getting stops, and when we have the lineup we had out there, we were obviously really small with Draymond in the center and going down the line. So if you get rebounds, you can push a transition. And Andre, when he gets the ball in open lanes, he's able to play make and either look for a shot or find guys on the wing. He found, I think, HB twice, like you said, and just that's when we get our rhythm. And in that moment, our endurance and our depth shows because, you know, I think we have, you know, fresher legs. And that's a winning time when everybody's locked in.
Moak, last one.
Mo Hamilton, BasketballInsiders.com. Having won the title here last year, going home, obviously nothing's guaranteed, but being up 3-1 with an opportunity to clinch the championship on your floor at home, how much of a motivator is that for either one of you? How much of a motivating factor is it?
I mean, if you don't get up for that, there's something wrong with you. You know, we can't wait to get to Oracle on Monday. I've been fortunate to play there for 5 years, and we really do have the best fans in the league. And you know, I probably won't have ever seen them excited before. You know, when we get to Monday. But we just got to stay in the moment, though. You know, we can't relax just because we're going home and we got a 2-game cushion. That team's hungry over there, and they got some great all-time great players. So, like I said before, there's no time to relax. Realize that it could be the end, so everyone give it their all and just trust each other and do it with 9-10 guys like we do every night. And if we do that, we'll be successful.
Thank you both. Andre Iguodala will be up next.
Big fan of what Steph Curry and Klay Thompson had to say, but as we're wrapping up the post-game press conference right there, I saw a comment pop up on the screen from Algernon saying, wait, my comments now show up on the screen? Yes, they show up on the screen. You type them in, we put them on there, as long as they're good. Matt D'Agostino here on Sideline Live, taking you through the post-game press conferences following Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Golden State winning 108-97. The Warriors have been so good all season long about when they do lose, which has been few and far between. They are great at coming back and getting a win. They are now 14-1 in games following a loss, and with Steph Curry getting 38 points, the Warriors now 14-0 in the last 2 postseasons when Curry scores at least 30. Andre Iguodala is at the podium right now. Let's take a listen.
Well, we have a very unique team. We have a lot of, solid basketball players. We have some really good shooters, great shooters. We have some very skilled big men. We have some skilled wing players who can play multiple positions, and I just happen to be one of the guys that I can try to fulfill any void the team needs on any given night. And been in the league a good amount of time, and I feel like I have a good understanding of the game and what my team needs for me to bring to the table. But defense is one of those constants that's night in, night out, and trying to make it as tough as possible for the opponent.
Next question, Mark in the middle.
It's all good. Andre Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Steph's first 3 games were a big storyline going in here. Hard to say we've seen him that ineffective over that long a period. What did you see might have changed things for him tonight, and how do you think all that, talk about his subpar play, as Draymond called it, slander, might have impacted his play tonight?
Well, you always want to answer the challenge, especially after a bad loss, and that's something we've kind of used as motivation throughout the season. Is you never lose 2 games in a row, and we've been blessed to not have that happen up until the OKC series. But he's in a situation that few go through. But the 2 guys that's on is him and the guy on the other team, and the game has gone globally as far as the attention, social media, wherever you go. My Twitter feed is Business Insider, TechCrunch, Wall Street Journal. So I block everything basketball in the playoffs, but it's coming up now, which just shows, how our game is so fascinating to so many different sectors. Here, not just here in the United States, but globally. So the eyes are on those 2 guys. It's going to be a story if one guy plays well and the other one doesn't, and one team has to lose, and one of those guys is going to get the brunt of the blame. And for us, it's trying to make life as easy for him as possible, because he does the same for us. I wouldn't have a championship ring. I wouldn't have the accolades that I've had since I've been on this team without that guy on our team.
Michael, back left.
Michael Grange from Sportsnet in Toronto. We were talking earlier this week, and you were saying how you really try and take the temperature of your team and make sure that they're kind of in the right emotional, mental space at a given moment. So you got 48 hours before a chance to clinch your second straight title. What's going to be your focus as you kind of relate to your guys the next 2 days?
I think the biggest thing is to get them to understand how hard it is going to be. We had to close our game here last year, and it was very difficult down the stretch. Calls may not go your way, or they may seem like they're never going to die, or we don't plan them on them dying at all anyway. But if you have the understanding in your mind that this is as hard as it's ever going to get, that's the right thought process to have, and you have to play smart. You got to go all out, no matter if you play 40 minutes or, Festus played a minute 19 tonight, but he contributed. So 1 through 15 have to understand that and just be ready to play.
Steve in the back right.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Within the framework of winning a championship, you guys have the challenge nightly of dealing with LeBron James, and it seems like it's a group effort. It takes multiple warriors. How helpful or supportive are you of each other in the process of a game night like this? And when you get the result you get tonight, how much satisfaction is there in dealing with him as effectively as you did?
Well, that's something I've been saying throughout my whole career. You got a guy like that, physically gifted, high IQ, one of the best passers I've ever seen. He gets it going. There's nothing you can do. It doesn't take one guy to come in and cut off the water or shut him down. It takes 5 guys. Throughout these playoffs, we've had some of the top scorers in this league. We've we've had to try to contain collectively. And, you know, he's the tip of the iceberg as far as collectively we have to work together and communicate to keep him from exploding on us or having those really high assist games where he's making everybody on their team a much better player.
Over here on the right.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal, kind of along those lines, but LeBron had 7 turnovers. He also seemed out of sync, especially in the first half. Do you think that's what you guys were doing to him? Could you get any sense of frustration there?
I think the best mentality to have is at any moment the guys can just turn into an uncontainable player, and you got to have the appropriate fear. Even if you do see a little doubt, you still take the approach that he can hurt you at any given moment, and he's done that. So we got to have our guards high and like I said, collectively be locked in.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Andre Iguodala finishing up on the post-game press conference. Welcome back to Sideline Live here. Matt D'Agostino.